Hello, I'm Lauren Markham. Thanks for joining us on AFL Riverina TV. We're a couple of weeks away from finals, but there's a real playoffs feel to this weekend with plenty to play for. Joining us in the studio for a look at what's in store is CSU Coach Daniel Athanitis and AFL Riverina's Tom Walker. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you.
Now, Dan, North Wagga might provide your cheer squad this weekend against Mara, but you meet the Saints the week after, hoping to give them a bit of a finals headache?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I guess the next 2 weeks is quite large in the shape of finals. This week we get Mara, next week we get North Wagga, so I guess they're hoping that we get the 4 points on Saturday, but we're just trying to control what we can control, really, and hopefully get the 4 points for ourselves more than anything.
Now, is this a bit of a finals series for you now, and how important would it be to get 1 or 2 wins in the next 2 weeks?
It is important, but we didn't. I think the message that we sort of put across from the start was our development wasn't going to be results-based and wins-based. We've got the 2 wins this year. We only won 1 last year, but we've also got 800 points less against than this time last year. So we feel as though that's a good step in the direction. So we're the wins are going to come if they come, but we're sort of more worried about those other things more than anything. So yeah.
And now, how have you enjoyed your year at CSU, which is a pretty different club to most?
Oh, it is, yes. I've come from sort of fully fledged football clubs and that are surrounded by past players and history and things like that, whereas it's a totally different dynamic, CSU. It's probably something I needed, a bit of a fresh start and something different, and I've really enjoyed it a lot.
Now, if you speak to any of your rival coaches, they really do talk about the improvement that they've seen in your club this year. What's been your favourite parts about coaching this season?
I think just kids coaching like young blokes. I think we've got probably 14 under 20, which is pretty remarkable. Well, a couple of boys at the start of the season asked what university Barellan was because they thought it was a university-based competition. Like we had six players never playing against men before, so that's probably been the best part, that blank canvas that we can try and create something with, I guess.
What's it been like kind of stepping back and having a non-playing coaching role?
It's probably been beneficial for both more than anything. We don't have a lot of off-field help as far as coaching's concerned, so probably me being there and talking to the players on and off the ground and getting a message across has been fairly important, probably for this first 12 months, for sure.
And now, what about next season? Do you reckon you can hold on to most of this team?
Oh, I believe so. A lot of the boys that have jumped on board this year, we had a fairly large influx. They just started long degrees, a lot of vets, and a lot of radiography and things like that. So they've got long degrees. So hopefully, yeah, we can hold on to all of them. Yeah, so that'd be a big thing.
And now, Tommy, at the start of the year, Mara probably were looking pretty positively that they had Barellan and CSU in the last 2 rounds, but they are heading to Peter Hasty Oval, under a bit of pressure. Do you think they can turn their form around?
Oh, they'll need to. They're certainly under pressure. They need to keep winning to stay relevant for finals. North Wagga are breathing down their neck. It should be a big game, but CSU were very close last time. They perhaps should have knocked them off. I'm tipping CSU. You never know at home.
And now, Daniel, after that, you've had a good look at Mara. Do you focus on, their game, or do you just bring it back to what you guys have to do?
Probably the latter, yeah. We that's pretty much been our focus all year. We haven't put a lot of time into opposition, and we do, all due respect to them, it's just been more about our development and things like that. So we'll defend well. We want to compete for 4 quarters and all the cliches I know, but yeah, it's the things that we just needed to get in place at the club more than anything.
Well, let's take a look at the rest of the fixtures. The Jets host the local derby with Barellan at Ardlethan. The Rock are heading to Collyamberley for a top 3 clash, and the Hawks are at home to Temora. Daniel, the Jets, they should beat Barellan and finish 4th. Have they got the potential to trouble a top 3 side, do you think?
Oh, definitely. We played them, I think it was 3 weeks ago, and they were very, very impressive in the wet. Jacko's got them, running really well. They run the footy from defence really well. They've got good key tools. Mitch Hadrill's could more than likely win the medal. He's a very good footballer. He can go forward and back, and I think bringing in the Canberra recruits that they have probably topped them off a little bit in a way, but it's hard to win them from fourth. But I think this year is probably a year where it could happen for sure.
And now, Tom, can you see an upset at Ardlethan?
No, it'd be tough. I agree with Dan. Northern Jets are a real smoky for this year's premiership. They've been playing outstanding football and should get the job done against Barellan.
Now, Dan, you were at Colliamberley last weekend. Can you see them stretching their winning streak to 13 against the Pies?
Oh, definitely, especially at home. The ground suits them really well. They defend. It's an oddly shaped ground. They defend it really well. They want you to play where they want you to play. So, you know, the Rock are very impressive. If you know, it's a tough one to pick, but Collie at home, I guess, yeah.
And now, Tom, the Pies got rolled in this game last year when Collie were out of the 5, but no one's underestimating the Blues this year, are they?
Definitely not. I think it's probably one of the games of the year, really, that both teams have only lost 2 games all year. The Rock going to Colliamberley is going to be a huge game. I'm going to go to the Rock. I think they're a very good team, very experienced, and they're going to put it right up against Colliamberley this weekend.
Yeah, well, Dan, regardless of the result this week, Collie have shown enough to pick up 12 straight wins. They can do some damage. What makes them such a hard side to play?
Oh, they've got big bodies, which we found difficult to go with. They've got a good ruckman in Josh Hamilton. He leads from the front. He's very aggressive, which you need in sides, but they've got a lot of experience. Like a lot of blokes probably played over 150, 200 games of senior football, so that holds you in good stead, certainly later in the year, for sure. And
now, Tom, what about Temora travelling to Gumley? They got rolled in their last home game by North Wagga. How do you think they're going to go?
They'll struggle to come up against East Wagga. It's going to be a tough battle. They were very good a couple of weeks ago against Mara. They perhaps should have won that game, but East Wagga, they're going really well and should be too good.
Now, Dan, the Hawks are top at the moment and favourites for the minor premiership. Do you think they deserve to win the decider?
Yeah, definitely. They've been the form team for 2 years. I've watched it from abroad last year, but this year, both times we played them, they give us a fair touch up. They've got winners across the field. They're big. They've got a very good full forward. They've got good defence. It's just a matter of putting it all together for them. But I'm sure that they will. They'll be able to do that this year if they can get everything going their way, for sure.
Well, thanks so much for coming in, guys. And Dan, best of luck here at CSU on Saturday.
Thank you very much.